Miranda, what do you make of this, China trade skirmish? It's a trade war. We see it's unclear actually whether Trump wants to escalate it or will back down.
Well, it seemed to be when he was saying, OK, we're going from 50 to 200 and basically think of a number, double it, then it was almost going for the nuclear option, saying anything that China delivers to the US, then they'll match with something worse. Now, the interesting point is that China hasn't matched it, and it's going through a process of sort of coming out with all the different options and hasn't deliberately escalated it in the short term. So once we get in July, and the tariffs are actually implemented, then that's going to be sort of the key point to watch.
Yeah, Miranda and Francine, moving from theory to application in real time. Mr. Macron has no problem with the Tsinghua of the tech company, and really very clearly state linked, to say the least, will acquire a French firm for a couple of $2 billion. I think, Francine, is just an absolute example of, within the heat and the rhetoric in America, we're moving right to continued business being done by China with other nations, including France.
Yeah, I wonder whether, Tom, and we see it in the narrative when it comes to M&A about, certain countries concluding, of course, the U.S., the first one to stop the Chinese coming in and buying certain companies because of security. Miranda, we're just breaking this headline. I mean, it's as if, they knew that you were on to get you to react to it. But are we going to see more M&A? I mean, are the Chinese going to be able to buy the companies that they want? Or because of these trade issues, will they be blocked even more than they have in the last 10 years?
Well, obviously, if they try and buy anything in the US, that's going to be blocked immediately. But interestingly, there's been a shift to sort of looking where they can get sources of other supply. So obviously, Japan is one obvious one. Things like buying the like semiconductor machinery, then it's actually the European companies and the Japanese companies that are still cooperating with China, even while the US is blocking it. So you do actually have quite a lot of more activity, and you've seen sort of quite a, obviously with the European leaders and Macron emphasising the EU-China ties, even while the US is saying, no, we want nothing to do with it, then that kind of rapprochement is quite an interesting sideline to the key trade war.